Hey everyone, it's Sunday, so it's time for another story time. My special guest this week is a mountain horn lizard. These are actually one of my favorite smaller lizards. You see these every once in a while in certain pet stores, but not a lot of people actually take care of them. They're kind of a peculiar lizard. They come from Southeast Asia, and their genus is Acanthosaur, which is really, really cool. If you look them up, there's all kinds of color varieties of like dark to bright greens and blacks, oranges, and all kinds of variations of the different types of spikes that we see on their body. Now these guys normally get called horn lizard because more often than not there's a little horn that comes up over top of each eye. Now his are broken off, which is pretty common. We don't really see the horns on a lot, and they don't grow back. So that kind of stinks, but they're still pretty cool. Now, he's darker in color right now because he's just a little ticked off. I woke him up. Also, they'll change color based on temperature. A lot of lizards do this. So if a lizard is a little bit darker in color, they're either trying to hide or they're trying to absorb a little bit more heat. When they turn brighter in color, that can also sometimes mean that they're stressed, but also that they could be too warm and they're trying to lose some heat. He also gets called the what do they call him? A Prickle-thorpe agama, and that just also comes from like all the spines down his back. Now, like other smaller lizards like this, he mainly eats insects, and these guys are like a sit and wait predator. They actually blend in very, very well with tree bark, as you can tell by his coloration and by his markings, and they literally just wait for an insect to appear, and then they just pounce on them. Now, you can see he's hanging on very well because he's used to living in treetops. And what he'll do is become very acrobatic if he needs to. So if he sees something he wants, they'll just jump and weave and go all over until they find or get the food that they want. And sometimes they can even land on the ground. They could take off running really, really fast. Like a lot of other lizards, he has a dewlap. That's this little fold of skin. You want to pull it out again, buddy? This doesn't hurt him. He'll use that and he'll flare out if he gets mad, or they also use it to try to attract females. So these are very, very cool little lizard, and this is about as big as he'll get. They like, again, climbing, so we keep them in a very tall enclosure and give them lots of things to climb on. I just always love how they'll just sit there with me like this. They'll kind of take everything in. So I am going to read a book called The Day the Crayons Quit by Drew Daywalt. So I think our little friend here will enjoy this one, and I hope you do too. Okay, here we go. One day in class, Duncan went to take out his crayons and found a stack of letters with his name on them. Hey Duncan, it's me, Red Crayon. We need to talk. You make me work harder than any of your other crayons. All year long, I wear myself out coloring fire engines, apples, strawberries, and everything else that's red. I even work on holidays. I have to color all the Santas at Christmas and all the hearts on Valentine's Day. I need a rest. Your overworked friend, Red Crayon. Dear Duncan, all right, listen. I love that I'm your favorite crayon for grapes, dragons, and wizard's hats, but it makes me crazy that so much of my gorgeous color goes outside the lines. If you don't start coloring inside the lines soon, I'm going to completely lose it. Your very neat friend, Purple Crayon. Dear Duncan, I'm tired of being called light brown or dark tan because I am neither. I am beige, and I am proud. I'm also tired of being second place to Mr. Brown Crayon. It's not fair that Brown gets all the bears, ponies, and puppies, while the only things I get are turkey dinners, and, if I'm lucky, and wheat. Let's be honest, when was the last time you saw a kid excited about coloring wheat? Your beige friend, Beige Crayon. Duncan, Gray Crayon here. You're killing me. I know you love elephants, and I know that elephants are gray. And that's a lot of space to color in all by myself, and I don't even get me started on your rhinos, hippos, and humpback whales. You know how tired I am after handling any one of those things? Such big animals. Baby penguins are great, you know. So are very tiny rocks, pebbles. How about one of those once in a while to give me a break? Your very tired friend, Gray Crayon. You enjoying this? Dear Duncan, you color with me, but why? Most of the time I'm the same color as the page you're using me on. White. If I didn't have a black outline, you wouldn't even know I was there. I'm not even in the rainbow. I'm only used the color snow or to fill an empty space between other things. And it leaves me feeling, well, empty. We need to talk. Your empty friend, White Crayon. Hi, Duncan. I hate being used to draw the outline of things that are colored in by other colors, all of which think they're brighter than me. It's not fair when you use me to draw a nice beach ball and then fill in the colors of the ball with all the other crayons. How about a black beach ball sometimes? Is that too much to ask? Your friend, Black Crayon. Dear Duncan, as Green Crayon, I'm writing for 2 reasons. One is to say that I like my workloads of crocodiles, trees, dinosaurs, and frogs. I have no problems and wish to congratulate you on a very successful coloring things green career so far. The second reason I write is to my friends Yellow Crayon and Orange Crayon, who are no longer speaking to each other. Both crayons feel they should be the color of the sun. Please settle this soon because they're driving the rest of us crazy. Your happy friend, Green Crayon. Dear Duncan, Yellow Crayon here. I need to tell Orange Crayon that I am the color of the sun. I would tell him, but we are no longer speaking. And I can prove I'm the color of the sun too. Last Tuesday, you used me to color in the sun on your Happy Farm coloring book. In case you've forgotten, it's on page 7. You can't miss me. I'm shining down brilliantly on a field of yellow corn. Your pal, and the true color of the sun, Yellow Crayon. Dear Duncan, I see Yellow Crayon already talked to you, the big whiner. Anyway, could you please tell Mr. Tattletale that he is not the color of the sun? I would, but we're no longer speaking. We both know I am clearly the color of the sun because on Thursday, you used me to color the sun on both the Monkey Island and Meet the Zookeeper pages in your Day at the Zoo coloring book. Orange, you glad I'm here? Your pal, and the real color of the sun, Orange Crayon. Dear Duncan, it has been great being your favorite color this past year, and the year before, and the year before that. I've really enjoyed all these oceans, lakes, rivers, raindrops, rain clouds, and clear skies. But the bad news is that I'm so short and stubby, I can't even see over the railing in the crayon box anymore. I need a break. Your very stubby friend, Blue Crayon. Kind of good timing. The lights always seem to go off right near the end of the story when you guys should be going to bed. So just a couple more pages. Duncan. Okay, listen here, kid. You have not used me once in the past year. It's because you think I'm a girl's color, isn't it? Speaking of which, please tell your little sister I said thank you for using me to color in her Little Princess coloring book. I think she did a fabulous job of staying inside the lines. Now back to us. Could you please use me sometime to color the occasional pink dinosaur or monster or cowboy? Goodness knows they could use a splash of color. Your unused friend, Pink Crayon. Hey Duncan, it's me, Peach Crayon. Why did you peel off my paper wrapping? Now I'm naked and too embarrassed to leave the crayon box. I don't even have any underwear. How would you like to go to school naked? I need some clothes. Help. Your naked friend, Peach Crayon. Well, poor Duncan just wanted to color. And of course, he wanted his crayons to be happy. And that gave him an idea. When Duncan showed his teacher his new picture, she gave him an A for coloring. And an A+ for creativity. So I think this is a pretty good book about sometimes we feel like people just ask too much of us, or sometimes we're the only ones who get asked to do certain things. But it's okay to speak up and talk about those things. So if you feel like a teacher is always making you do certain projects that's not asking other teachers or your parents are, just talk about it. Bring it up to them. Ask them, why am I the only one who ever has to do this? Could I try doing something else? Because the only way you're ever going to learn and expand your mind and your abilities is to try other things. So these crayons did a very, very good job at letting Duncan know that they wanted to try other things and be part of a bigger picture. So I hope you enjoyed this book. I hope you enjoyed learning about our awesome, awesome mountain horn lizard friend, because he's amazing. He's one of my favorite lizards. Right, buddy? Is that comfy? Does that look okay? All right, have a good night.